I've heard in the past that the early bird catches the worm. It's like 5:20 right now. I'm actually at a campground, private campground in central Michigan that really got me hooked on bass fishing probably about 4 years ago. And a lot's changed. A lot less of the lake is accessible because they've put more campers on the lake, or more permanent sites, I should say. So we're gonna give it a try. I took my niece out, my goddaughter, last night for like 10 minutes and caught her very first fish. That was pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna try to try to be a little bit quiet. Sneak down here and see if we can't catch a few bass. So stay tuned. The Gary Yamamoto worm never fails. First cast, got this little guy, but it's kind of surreal because this is the color worm that I first started using 5 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever it was, that completely got me hooked on bass fishing. So you can see it's pretty calm. And yeah, threw a Sammy topwater out here just a little bit ago, and then a KVD square-bill crankbait, never got a bump. First cast with a worm, got it done. See if we can't find any bigger ones. Second cast with the KVD. Man, I love that freaking crankbait. It's just so versatile. See if we can't pull them up here. Decent size one. Not a giant. It's like a post-spawn female, or maybe a female, I don't know. Let's get her off. That one straight up choked that Gary Yamamoto worm. So just threw up there on this beach, these shallow reeds here, and I mean, she freaking choked it. So getting a few, not as many as I used to, but still it's fun. That's how I got started. So going back to my roots. I'm gonna switch things up a little bit. I'm actually gonna use a wind dot worm. I went to a little bit smaller hook, and this is like an offset EWG hook. I think it's maybe like a 2/0. It's pretty small, pretty finesse, but this is a gravel pit. I mean, it's not really a lake, but it's a gravel pit. You know, it gets a lot of pressure, so I'm actually going to go a little bit more finesse. So this is that oil can color I was using a couple weeks ago walleye fishing with the orange tail. So we're going to cast it around here, these shallow reeds and this shallow grass, and see if we can't get something to bite. I just missed one over there. But yeah, this place has changed, like with anything. A lot of things change over the years, and I used to catch some big ones in here, some 3-4 pounders, and yeah, as you can see, there's quite a few campers now, so this lake gets a lot of pressure. It used to be strictly catch and release only. There's a fish cleaning station now, so I assume that it's no longer catch and release only. So see if we can't catch a bass on a wind dot worm. Don't see why not. So I bought these River to Sea Wapple Ploppers, these 75Fs last year, and said, you know what, I'll give it a try. Second cast, bone color. This guy crushed it, so it's like a little male, but yeah, that was pretty fun. Did not expect that. So they want topwater. First true topwater fish besides a frog that I've caught now. So yeah, not too bad. I wanted to take just a quick second and show you guys kind of my go-to, always, never fails worm setup. It's pretty straightforward. I've always been a really big fan of the Gamakatsu EWG hooks. So here's number 3 or number 4 is typically what I use, this offset worm hook EWG. And then I've always been a huge fan. This lake is actually the reason why I'm such a big fan of this Gary Yamamoto in this watermelon orange red flake. It's just it's a really good color, seems to work everywhere that I've fished it. And the thing that I do different is I put the Lure Lipstick soft bait enhancer in here. So I put about 4 or 5 drops in here, so you not only have the salt cure that's in these worms, but also now you've got that natural fear pheromone and the anise oil inside there. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple, lightweight. Use this Bass Pro Shop Bionic Blade rod paired with a Lew's, I think this is the 200 series, the Mach 2 200 series. And the rod itself is just a 7-foot medium heavy fast action tip Bass Pro Shop rod that I got from Bass Pro Shop. So pretty simple setup, but man, it does work. So let's see if we can't catch another one. Even northerns like the old Gary Yamamoto worm. Huh. I'll be dang, never caught one of these out of here. First for everything. Man, they just gotta have this worm. They just can't stand it. I just cast it out to these reed tops right there. I don't know if you can really see them, but just letting it sit there, and all of a sudden the line started taking off. So they do love this worm. Man, this stuff is fun. I'm standing here on this shoreline right here casting, and all of a sudden I hear a bunch of this commotion going on. Look, and there's 4 bass swimming towards me in like 6 inches of water, and cast it over there with that worm, that Cinco, and he choked it. And yeah, biggest one of the morning so far. 6 inches of water. Crazy. All in all, it's been a pretty successful morning. Haven't really caught any giants. I just caught that last one right there in literally 6 inches of water, so that was pretty cool. But the hot bait this morning is still this orange and I guess watermelon, pumpkin flake, whatever, Gary Yamamoto Cinco worm. So I think I'm gonna just fish a little bit longer and then wrap it up. Getting kind of hungry, so I'm gonna go back and grab something to eat. But yeah, it was kind of cool to get back to my roots. This lake is really the lake that really got me interested in bass fishing, and on this exact bait right here. I mean, this bait was kind of the one, especially with that KVD crankbait, was where it all started. So again, really appreciate you guys watching this video. You know, I guess what you want to take from this video is it doesn't hurt to go back to your roots. You know, this is how I started off bass fishing on the bank, and it's just kind of nice to relax and take it easy when I do go fishing, and just enjoy this beautiful time. So again, my name's Jay Ball, Blue Jays Outdoors, and showing gratitude is the best way to change your attitude. See you guys next time. Thanks. So there's this little pond on the other side of this gravel pit. First cast in it, and I got this guy. Look at how dark he is. Of course, this water is much darker, so maybe I'm not done fishing just yet. Pretty cool. Another one that said they had that KVD, and they love that freaking crankbait. So do I.